Okay. So something is about to happen.
Which will hopefully never happen again, but it's going to be wonderful.
I just apologize in advance because...
Well, here's the story. Here's what happened. So we were like, let's look for Glee fanfiction. Let's look for, fanfiction about babies, because that's always awful. And then we were like, oh, let's be real. We want to look for fanfiction about guys getting pregnant.
Because that's ridiculous.
And then we found one. We were scrolling, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Kelly, look. The summary, it says, the wonderful sentence, Kurt is in heat. And it was all we needed to know.
So, I don't know how much of this we're actually going to read. It's 9 chapters so far.
We might give up.
we're going to see how far this goes, because it's rated M, and
We've just sort of vaguely looked at the first chapter and been like, okay, tails are involved in the fuck. So then we were like, you need to know, all of you. You need to know.
He has a tail! I don't understand!
Like, is it like that weird-ass anime...
Ear?
You know, like the anime thing where, like, in anime or in manga...
His ears are gonna twitch.
Like, sometimes the characters will randomly have ears and a tail.
Are they dogs? Are they rabbits?
And they'll still be human. Maybe that's what they're going for.
They're not... I don't think they're human, but...
Whatever.
Alright, so this is called Heat. It's by Color Me Demented. Oh, don't worry, we have. Honey, we have. And, okay. So, chapter 1 is Heat Week.
And I really don't even care about what she has to say about the story.
She has the plot bunnies!
Which, God, don't ever have blood bunnies colored to me demented, because if this is what happens... Kurt writhed on his bed. Oh, thanks. That's where
he is a rabbit,
start.
I think.
You
okay. Get to say the next. You can just say the next
fluffy
time.
white tail. Oh God, I can't say that. Also, he's a dude. He doesn't have one. Whatever. Technically.
Well, he does.
Uncomfortable. Well, yes. Technically.
He has an entrance.
Technically.
We haven't even gotten there.
Those aren't wet. I'm sorry. Barf. His fluffy white tail rubbing across his wet entrance. This means door, of course. His triangle-shaped, white fur-covered ears twitched as they hit the pillow. This wasn't Kurt's first heat, but it was so far his worst. When he told his dad how bad it was, the older Hummel looked worried, and his brown ears stood alert like he was protective. What the fuck is going on? Kurt didn't understand what was going on, or why his dad wouldn't let any males other than Finn into the house, or why Finn wasn't allowed to go into Kurt's room. So dumb, Kurt. His father had gone so far as to lock Kurt's door so that Finn couldn't get in. Why are you letting him into the house, then?
Now, Kurt knew that when he went into heat, when any submissive... Oh, God. Went into heat, then his body gave off a desirable scent. But why keep Finn away? He was his brother. They weren't going to do anything. That would be incest. Well, kind of. They weren't blood-related.
So then, no, it wouldn't be incest. So Kurt had been locked in his room all week, and he was only getting worse. He could smell his scent now, and it was only getting him more worked up. That and his room smelled heavily of sex because he'd been masturbating nonstop for about a week. Alright, this is uncomfortable. Only stopping when he ate or passed out from an exceptionally good orgasm.
He rolled over onto his side and looked out the window. He pulled his legs up so they were flush against his chest and curled his tail around himself, burrowing his nose in it. I'm just so confused.
Why is he about a dog?
Drifting off to sleep, he smelled his mating scent.
Warm vanilla and sugar. Yeah, that needed to be on a different line, thank you. Also, there's nothing more sexy than warm vanilla and sugar.
There were only dominants in the halls of McKinley, so really only boys. Minus Kurt.
Hey.
Wow.
Random sexism alert. Just saying.
Anyway. Yeah.
Whatever.
Minus Kurt and a few of the male Cheerios.
The fuck's a Cheerio?
Oh, that's what they call their cheerleaders. It's a thing.
There's more than one male cheerleader at this school?
Apparently. In this universe where they're dogs.
Alright, I'm not even going to think about this. Finn was looking around the mostly empty hall. He spotted the football players and went over. Yes, thanks. That's actually not a sentence. That's 2 sentences shoved together. He never understood the reason that the subs were gone for a week every 3 months. Because you're fucking stupid. His mom and Bert tried to mom and Bert tried to explain it, but he didn't understand. And he really didn't understand why loud moaning would be almost constant coming out of his brother's room during the week that he would be out. Okay, wait, so did they live together?
Yeah, because their parents got married, so they're stepbrothers.
Oh, okay. Right, I know nothing about Glee.
Hey guys, can I ask you something? The football players turned to him. Dave Karofsky seemed tired. He had dark circles, and as Finn was about to ask him why he looked so damn exhausted, he yawned, showing his pointed canines, and his ears weren't as perky and upright as they normally were. That was not a sentence.
Dogs or something.
Yeah. They just kind of laid against his head. Asimov started laughing.
Dude, you have it bad. Finn furrowed his brow and cocked his head.
Has what bad? Artie shook his head and laughed.
Dude has 3 teenage sisters, and his mom still has the heat.
Okay, everyone talks about the heat, but what is it? Dave shook his head, and the other guys just laughed. Everyone knew that Finn was sort of innocent and didn't really get things when it came to sex. He thought he got Quinn pregnant via hot tub. Yeah, that's true, he did.
God, you're stupid,
They were making
Finn.
out in the hot tub, and he kind of got excited, and then she was pregnant, and he was like, oh my god.
How do you not realize you're having sex? God, you're so dumb.
No, they weren't having sex.
But
he got excited, and...
But I don't think that would work, because you're in a fucking hot tub.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
It's hot.
It wasn't hers, she lied. She lied.
Oh, but... What?
He thought that he did,
okay.
and he thought that's how.
So he's an idiot,
yes.
Basically. God, you're stupid. Anyway, doesn't Kurt go into heat? Yeah, back to the important, realistic things like this story. Doesn't Kurt go into heat? Dave asked, Mike, Puck, Sam, and Artie nodding.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed near him when he does.
That's because he'd probably rape you, Sam
wow.
said.
No way, dude. His crush ended a while ago, remember? Dave smirked and nodded. But he looked at Finn like he was stupid, and Finn was an inch away from growling. His dark brown tail was already stiffening.
It doesn't matter, Dave began. When a sub is in heat, they pretty much get sex from whoever they can. He wouldn't think twice about it until his heat was over and he realized what he did. Finn nodded, starting to understand.
So why don't Doms go into heat? Dave laughed and Finn's tail was bristling.
Because we can't carry babies. The heat week is when babies are made. Sorry. That's when all the pretty subs are taken out of school when it starts and return only when it ends.
So Kurt can have a baby? Dave nodded. And Finn just realized, dude, you guys just gave me
a baby.
Dude, you guys just gave me the talk. The footballers burst into laughter and Finn was back to feeling relaxed.
I don't think I can read the next paragraph. There's all sorts of words I do not normally say aloud.
Let's just edit that one out. There's just a lot of...
He's still masturbating the end. Kurt.
He fell back onto his pillow and wiped the mess from his stomach.
Ew. And a few minutes later, he needed release again.
Shit, I'm happy this is over tomorrow.
Please, can it just be over tomorrow? The story can be about something else.
Oh, God. Do you want to go on or not?
Let's just do one more.
All right, that's what they all say. Okay.
I know, right? I'm, like, perversely curious, but it's also, like...
All right, we found out that the story is going to be updated Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Aren't
just
you
for
excited?
Your information.
Well, it's completed,
it's done,
so who cares, so...
All right. Chapter 2 is called Such a Dog.
That's what I want it to be called in an M-rated story about people who are dogs and go into heat. And also men can have babies now.
Kurt awoke the next morning, not because he was so horny, his skin was aflame, but because he smelled the salty scent of bacon.
So Kurt's the dog from that bacon commercial.
I guess. He smiled and sat up. Who cooks the bacon? All right. He smiled and sat up, leaning onto his hands and knees. Dogs don't have hands. He bowed his back and stretched himself out. He yawned and made his way to the shower to wash off the grime of Heat Week.
He turned the tap on. Once he was with the freezing water, he jumped back and hissed at the tap, as if it had personally offended him. His tail and ears bristled as he was waiting for the water to warm up. Wait a minute, he's a cat? Oh, wait, what the fuck? Okay, you know what? I think the next paragraph sort of explains this world, but also makes it way more confusing.
A small amount of warm water pooled in the bottom of the tub, and he turned off the tap. He covered his washcloth with soap and washed himself. He may not be fully cat, but his feline side always won out with water. He remembered when he was 4 and his father, a wolf-human hybrid. Yeah, because that
works.
Thought he should learn how to swim. His mother, cat-human. Catwoman. Kurt's mom is Catwoman. Knew awesome. Kurt would be furious, and as his father jumped into his pool while holding him, let's just say his mother already had called 911. His father ended up with 52 stitched, and that included having his earlobes sewn back on.
Oh my god. Kurt was a psycho. Alright. Kurt finished washing and turned on the hairdryer. He styled his hair and dressed. He was ready to be back in school. He'd missed his friends and classes. The teachers would film classes and email videos to the subs that weren't in school that week, but he didn't expect them to do homework. In fact, that's nice. Half of the teachers would be out of school that week, so most classes did reviews or watched videos. Anyway, but Kurt couldn't wait to get out of his room. It was a nice room, and he loved it, but he'd been stuck in it for a week.
He grabbed his school bag and bounded down the steps to the kitchen, where his father, Carol, and Finn were already eating.
Who's Carol?
Stepmom.
Okay. Morning. Kurt's family turned to look at him, and Carol smiled.
Glad it's over?
Always am. Kurt laughed as he took his seat next to Finn, who tensed just a small amount, but everyone's senses picked up on the tension.
Finn? Oh. Kurt asked, are you alright?
Are you going to rape me? Bert spit out his orange juice, and Carol stopped mid-pancake flip.
What? Kurt asked, furrowing his brow.
Karofsky said that a sub in heat wouldn't care if we were stepbrothers. You just jumped me and wouldn't even known you'd done anything wrong until your heat was done. Bert nodded.
Yeah, why do you think I lock him in his room during Heat Week?
Oh, that's why? Kurt said, nodding along. I get it now. I always wondered why I got locked up during. The family laughed, because that's funny, as Carol handed Kurt a glass of warm milk and some bacon.
There was a knock at the door, and Finn's dark brown, dog-like ears perked up. He ran to the front door. Okay, so that's so what dogs do. Door! 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 Someone's here! Someone's here! Okay. Looking eagerly out the window before opening the door to revile. I can't spell. Revile Dave Karofsky.
Who is Dave Karofsky? I've never heard of him.
He's in the show sometimes. So there's this whole really complicated backstory.
Okay.
He's not in Glee. He used to beat Kurt up and all this stuff, and then Kurt's like, why the fuck are you beating me up? And then Dave kissed him, and so it turns out that he's gay, but he's just really in the closet, and then there's this whole death threat situation, and it's just
fun.
a long...
Was it dropped halfway through, or...?
Actually, no, it's still going on. Well... I don't know anymore, because I haven't watched Glee in a while, but it was kind of... I mean, it just kind of comes back up at certain... Anyway.
Alright, the two boys came back into the kitchen where Kurt was sipping lazily at the milk. Without turning around, Kurt said hello to Dave.
How'd you know it was me, Kurt?
Heard him greet you.
Great.
Heard him greet you.
Oh, see, I thought it was your kitty senses. Kurt gave a half-hearted hiss, and Dave chuckled. Just wanted to know if you guys wanted a ride to school.
Smelled the bacon? Carol chuckled.
Yes, ma'am. She laughed as he sat down. She handed him a plate heaped full of crisp bacon.
Kurt went back to his milk while thinking about Dave's smile. His lips were smooth and didn't crack at all when they stretched upwards.
Yeah, so many people's lips do crack when they smile.
Kurt worried his lip between his teeth. I wonder how they'd look stretched over my...
Kurt? Kurt shook out of his head and looked to Dave.
Yes?
I asked you if you had plans for Friday night. Kurt shook his head.
No.
Want to go to the movies? Kurt's eyebrows raised and he shuddered a breath.
Sure, I'd like that. Right, because these sorts of things happen in real life. Oh, is that the rest of mine?
Yes, it is.
They spent a short moment just staring at each other before Bert cleared his throat. Oh, we should,
get to school.
So, hey, yeah. Where am I? Yeah, where's Finn? Dave looked around before they heard Dave's car horn. Kurt laughed and shook his head.
Such a dog.
Oh, man, I love this, author's note at the bottom. I think we need to read it. So I know one thing that irks me when reading an animal type fic is the only similarity is the heat. I've given them more animal characteristics. Tell me what you think. think you're fucking weird.
Do you want to keep going or no?
I don't know, man. How long is this?
It's 9 chapters.
I know. How long has we been talking?
Oh, 15 minutes.
It might not be worth it.
We'll spare you. If you want to know more.
A deep desire. You can look it up, I guess.
Maybe we'll read another part later.
Having sex with Dave or whatever.
Dave Karofsky.
On a sunny coach.
I bet. Yeah, enormous belly in chapter 8.
Oh, right, because we were looking for something that... Oh, could we read this, please?
Sure, okay, we just skipped.
It's really short.
Alright, this is chapter 8. Just the beginning. Oh, this person had their wisdom teeth out and... Okay. Is writing on pain meds. Alright, so, Kurt was on his back, trying to watch TV over his enormous belly. He was bigger than a 9-month human pregnant with twins. Maybe even triplets. Sure, the babies were about half the size of a human baby, but there were 5, and he was huge. Kurt's just having a litter. like one of those exercise balls you lean on. Yeah, that big. He groaned and rolled onto his side.
So, where is he keeping them? Oh god, I don't even want to know. Whatever.
Keeping what?
The babies!
They're inside him.
He's a dude!
Oh, right.
He's missing the necessary equipment. Although, okay, fine. If he's part cat, maybe he's also part woman. Anyway.
Yes, because he's still a male.
Right, well, he's got a dick, apparently.
How's he gonna have them?
Oh, God, I don't even want to know. David!
I guess he's having them out of his ass.
Oh, Christ. Ugh.
Okay, anyway.
Ahem.
You gotta keep going.
I can't get comfy. Can I go into labor yet? David laughed, but Bert rolled his eyes.
Sure thing, kid. You do that. Kurt thought Kurt thought as hard as he could, but labor would not come. Yes, because you can just...
I will now think myself.
He humped and rolled his eyes. They weren't even born, and the kids were already calling the shots. He wriggled himself down a little and rested his head on Dave's legs.
Then he felt a sharp pain in his lower back.
Ow!
Baby, you okay? Kurt sat for a moment, puzzled. He nodded and relaxed. He tried to focus on the TV, but didn't feel right. He shifted as a wave of pain hit him and sat up.
I think something's wrong, he said, rubbing the spot on his lower belly where he was hurting. It was in your back a minute ago. Dave looked at him, but Bert peered over his paper. Then, as another wave of pain hit him, Kurt felt a wave of fluid leave his backside. Yes, because that's where it comes from.
Works. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Wait. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was your line. Said.
Holy shit!
Oh, God! That's my reaction, too. Dave jumped up and moved to help Kurt stand, but Bert was already rounding up Carol and Finn.
Let's go! Time for babies! Carol yelled as she ushered Finn out the door. Kurt sat in the front next to Bert, as the car lurched forward, all he could say was, "Yes!"
What? Oh man, there's an epilogue, you guys. It's super short.
We don't get to find out how they...
Madeline toddled in. Another small children, great. Still and steady on her baby feet. Her curly light brown hair bouncing around her shoulders, her fluffy cat-like tail swishing behind her, her baby doll, Caddy, in her arms. Her big blue eyes looked up at Dave.
Papa, can I please have a cookie?
What did Daddy say, even though Dave knew Kurt already said no?
No. What? Kurt looked over from folding all the little toddler clothes and shook his head.
Then no. She pouted and his heart sank. Kurt walked out of the room carting the full laundry basket. Dave smiled at his little girl and took a cookie out of the jar, split it in half, and gave her the bigger one. Her face lit up, so much like her daddy's, and Dave smiled.
Now don't tell anyone, baby girl. It's our little secret. She giggled and held her little pointer finger to her lips, making a shh sound, and teetered into the bathroom, locking herself away to eat her cookie. He chuckled and looked up to see Kurt smirking in the doorway.
I saw that. Dave blushed.
Oh God, he's getting confused. Oh, right. I can't say no to her, Kurt. She's my baby girl. She uses your puppy eyes. Kurt chuckled and moved over to his mate, kissing him on the cheek.
More words that make me uncomfortable. Mate. Okay. We have the best family, he said. They had 4 hectic sons and a little girl who knew just how to pull at her papa's heartstrings. They both knew they wouldn't ever want to change a thing.
I know. I love you, Dave said, resting his head on Kurt's shoulder.
I love you too.
Oh, man.
Man.
I'm curious about where OBGYN. Why are you pregnant? I'm trying to figure out.
What? What's 20%?
I don't know.
Okay, that's weird.
You got pregnant.
You snuck out and got pregnant, Kurt. God, when I had a son, I wasn't really expecting this kind of thing to happen.
You're going to look so cute with my pups in you. Why can they get pregnant? Oh, I guess they just established that they can, that he can.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that was
phenomenally
special.
Stupid.
That was wonderful.
Wow. Okay. Way to be loud.
Outside.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess. Oh gosh, it's 10:30. Suppose that means I should actually be productive today, but this is better not to.
That's how I feel about productivity.
Infant heart disorder. Alright. Well.
Wow.
Let's sit here in awkward silence, or.
We could. Choose, my friends.
This was exciting.
So exciting. Not as exciting as a dude having a baby. Actually, wait, I guess that would be pretty exciting.
I'd be like, what the fuck?
They'd be like, where have you been keeping that?
Where's it gonna come out? So I'm more concerned about where it's coming out than where he keeps it. For some reason.
I guess, yeah.
Like, where he keeps it, I don't care.
Where he keeps it is probably more important, but where it comes out is just a little bit more disturbing. Like, well,
there's two options, and both of them are equally horrifying.
Well, I think one's a bit more horrifying than the other.
I don't know.
I don't think I'd want a baby in my dick.
No. Oh.
Just saying. And this is why people should not be allowed to write mpreg unless it's like that one I once read where Captain Jack got accidentally impregnated by an alien and had, like, alien spawn living in his chest cavity, and it was awful and horrible. But they acknowledged that it was awful and horrible, so it was okay. God, I'm the same color as the wall. What the fuck is wrong with me?
What's wrong with you is that it's February in Iowa.
You're pink.
I'm not
I'm
pink.
like white.
You're supposed to be yellow.
I know, but...
You are yellow. I'm pink.
Yeah, but...
See? She's yellow.
Apparently this means I am a spring or something.
Or no. Yeah, and I'm a summer.
I'm a yellow skin and blue eyes.
And that's rare, apparently. Our friend was telling us this, and we were like, just what?
What the fuck?
We didn't get it, but apparently that's what happens. But apparently if you're a spring, that means you look like a wall.
I guess.
What we got?
I look like a wall, and I rock.
I don't know why I wanted to. I felt compelled.
Linguistics. I look like springs look like the wall, and they rock sweater vests like motherfuckers. And that is the moral for the day.
Autumns enjoy linguistics. We're nerds.
In case you hadn't already figured it out.
See y'all later.